Hey, we're on day 17, Mind Reader, the awkwardness of asking. You know, one of the problems that Carrie and I have in our relationship is that because we have been married for over 26 years, and we knew each other for a few years before that, we often assume that we know what the other one is thinking and what the other one wants to do or eat, what their dreams are. And instead of doing that, we really have found that we have to come to a place where we quit trying to be a mind reader and we start asking the other one, hey, what are your dreams? What are your hopes? What do you want to eat for lunch? And it's taken that step of awkwardness. It actually feels awkward when you know someone really well to ask questions that you've both always just assumed and have gone unspoken. And the same holds true with our children. You know, when you've been the parent of a kid for their whole life, you assume that you know them probably better than they know themselves. But the truth is that child of yours is growing and changing. And they're not static. They're in a constant state of flux. As a matter of fact, all of us are changing all the time, or at least we should be. We should all be growing and changing all the time. We don't want to become stagnant in our relationships. But because we feel like we know what this child is like or what that one's like, we end up pigeonholing them. And they become cemented in certain roles in our family, oftentimes without even thinking about it. And many times when that student or child wants to break out and become a new person, really stretch their boundaries, as a family, we don't let them. We say, no, you're the one who always does this or never does this. And so instead, we need to go through that awkwardness of asking. Maybe it's a parent you're thinking of. The relationship that's really gotten under your skin is with one of your parents. And you say, well, my mom is always doing this, or my dad always reacts this way. Well, once again, when we cement those feelings and those expectations, we don't leave room for change. And so if you want to have a breakthrough in your relationships, in your closest relationships, then it's really important to ask questions, ask awkward questions. Ask, what are you feeling? How do you feel about this? And here's a key. After you ask, listen. Actually listen. Take the time to absorb what they're saying. Don't come back with a knee-jerk response, but actually sit and listen and try to comprehend what that person is really feeling, how you would feel. Be a place, a safe place, where they can go to listen and to share their true feelings, their true desires. Oftentimes, we don't share the deepest dreams and desires of our hearts because we feel like the people who know us best will laugh at them. They'll say, oh, come on, you'd never want to do that. Oh, come on, you'd never make it. You'd give up after a few days. It's our role to be an encourager. So when you provide that atmosphere, that welcoming atmosphere for someone else to share, then I encourage you, listen, and then wait before you respond. Wait until you feel like you can say something that's with wisdom, with encouragement, with integrity, and you're going to be so much closer in those relationships. Now, we're not saying that you want to go around to every single person you know, every neighbor, every acquaintance with this tactic. But once again, as we seek out to live in this way, to have our love, our closest loves at last sight be closer at that point than ever in our lifetime. And as we seek to do that, focus in on those 1, 2, 3 close relationships and ask them. Go through the awkwardness of asking. I challenge you today to, before you go to bed, ask at least one person who's really close to you a question that's maybe been on your heart and mind for a while, but you've never dared ask them. Try it and see if there's not a breakthrough in your relationship. We'll see you tomorrow.